And welcome to another gaming commentary. This week it is Gaming Awesome, or as he would say it, Gaming Awesome! So Tryhard Ninja came to me. Actually, it was really cool. Story time! Basically, Tryhard Ninja's sister, Tryhard's sister, that's not a joke, that's her YouTube name, we kind of follow each other for a while here on Instagram and on YouTube, and he was looking to get some artwork done for his new channel, Gaming Awesome! And so, because she followed me, she actually pointed him in my direction, and she connected us, and I got to meet Igor. I think it's Igor, it might be Igor. We had a conversation about names, and now I'm super paranoid of saying it wrong. I'm just going to say Igor, but, like, the conversation went, my name's StevRayBro. I have 3 common names put together, and he's like, at least people can pronounce your name, because apparently people mispronounce Igor all the time, or at least misspell it. I saw it misspelled a lot in his comments. Anyway, so this is a YouTube banner, which I'm not super excited about putting on the channel. Not so much that I don't like to do YouTube banners, it's just that I know I'm going to get a surplus of, can you make my banner? I'm sorry, person with 2 subscribers, I can't, because you want me to do it for free. Igor paid me to do this, as well as a bunch of other stuff, and he paid me a good amount of money, which is pretty cool. Even though it is a client relationship, we have talked since we started doing this. It's been like a week-long adventure, and I'm still doing stuff for him right now, helping him prepare for the launch of his channel, which I guess technically isn't officially launched yet. And, I feel like I made a really good friend. Both him and Tryhard's sister have been really cool. I've been chatting with them both about the project and about other stuff and just about YouTube and such. So I think I made a good friend. And until I finish this and he never talks to me again. Sad. Oh, where's the cricket tripping? What would have been great is that I've been feeding kaiju crickets and I've been buying surplus of them so I can feed them. That way they're gut loaded. And I just finished it off for him. Or, well, he finished off the crickets. I don't eat them. Normally, that would have been really good right there for crickets. That was a really long detour. Anyway, so the actual YouTube piece that I should be talking about is Igor on a shark. So the main thing that he wanted was him running on a shark with a type of shotgun and a zombie's head exploding, which you can see both are here. And then he kind of threw at me, like, randomly, oh yeah, maybe a cat with a cupcake. He really wanted this to be outlandish and really epic. I don't know if he used the word epic or not, but you know what I mean. And then, he wanted the zombie to be gruesome, so I tried to make sure that I got enough detail into it and made it paintery enough, because he was actually inspired by the Yo Mama piece that I did, the Epic Brody piece, which is really cool that, I've been kind of hard on myself for posting the Yo Mama pictures because they were freelance projects, but it was kind of cool to, like, oh, because of that project, I'm getting other projects, which is really, really neat. Actually, this week, like right now as we speak, I'm producing this video for tomorrow, and I'm also working on 2 Let's Play animations, and I feel like I'm leveling up right now. This piece came out really, really cool. There's some really good elements to it. Just, detail, painting, etc., etc. And then the animations are actually coming out really cool. So, like, I feel like I'm grinding, like, in an RPG lately, and, because I've been working a lot. And, it's like doing too much stuff, you tend to start feeling like you're getting better at it. And I feel like I just leveled up, which is really cool. And because of all the extra freelance between the 2 animations I'm doing for someone else, the Yo Mama, a little bit of anime stuff here and there, I'm doing a lot better financially, and I was able to treat myself a little bit the last couple of days, which is really, really neat. And, so he really wanted the zombie to be super gruesome, and so that's what I was trying to do here, was make it really paintery, and make sure I had blood. I didn't know if I was going to use a blood splatter brush, which is a Photoshop brush that is like paint splatter and such. None of the ones I found really, really worked well. I think I wound up using one that was pretty decent and then blurring it, but we'll get to it later. I did this piece like, it feels like a week ago, but I think it was more like 4 or 5 days. And so some of the little tidbits are going to be blurry, and so we'll learn together. But overall, I really liked how the zombie came out. It's probably my favorite piece, part of it. Though, looking at it now, I wish I kind of, blurred out some of the sections, like that high cheek mark. I wish it kind of blended in with the rest of it, but I just kind of kept it high contrasting. Something that's interesting about digital painting, especially when you get to more realistic or more detail-oriented stuff, you really got to learn the balance between having something like, say, the forehead have this soft blend, but then also have other areas that have a harsh, like, contrasting shadow. Knowing when to put those and knowing those peaks and valleys will really make a piece look really, really solid. One thing about horror things, really, because it is going to be creepypasta month. That's not how they do it. Let me do the voice. Creepypasta month. It's a lot of, dark things. And dark things let you kind of be a little loose with it because not all of it's going to be seen. Speaking of cool dark things, I just printed off a Darkwing Duck poster. This weekend is AwesomeCon, and Jim Cummings, the voice actor of Darkwing Duck, is going to be there. He's actually signed one of my pieces before, this Dark Knight Rises poster, which was a parody of Dark Knight Rises, only it's Darkwing Duck. I got a friend of mine to sign it for me, which was really, really cool, but I didn't get to actually meet him. So this weekend, I'm going to attempt to meet him. I don't care if I just stand in line all day, but I printed off the extra poster, and I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to sign the back. Maybe it might lead to more freelance. Who knows? Okay, so I wound up... no, that's temporary. I know I wound up deleting that later. So interesting thing about this was, with YouTube banners, there's this huge amount of space. Like, what you see on a desktop and what you see on your mobile aren't the same thing. And so, like, they're the same thing, but there's also another view that most people don't see, which is on your TV. I guess there's smart TVs or something. And so there's this huge amount of space, but most people leave it blank because no one watches YouTube on TV, or at least no one, I don't think, is watching animation and Let's Play channels. Who knows? Maybe they are. But so, like, for me and him were talking, and we wanted to get this out as soon as possible. And if I had so much extra stuff to do, it would have took me even longer, because he wanted this in an express way. He actually paid me a little bit extra to make, like, because I agreed upon two different things, freelance-wise, and then his popped on top of it, and he wanted to make sure that he got high priority. Excuse me. And so that's kind of cool. First off, really flattering that people like my artwork enough to pay me extra to make sure that they get me. That is really, really, really flattering. And so with this one, he gave me a couple of pictures of himself. The note that here's a funny story. So Tryhard Ninja, or Tryhard Sista, or Olga, I guess I can just call her Olga, but Tryhard Sister is so much fun to say. She made the thumbnail version. By the way, art terms, thumbnails. Man, I'm just like derailing multiple different times. Thumbnails don't always mean the things you click on websites. A traditional traditional idea is that thumbnails are actually. I'm saying too much. Thumbnails are like little tiny sketches that you make that are kind of like gestures, just to get the idea of it. You know, before you actually start on your project, it's good to kind of sketch out some composition ideas and different rough ideas and get them on paper before you actually start doing the full-fledged piece. Well, she made a little picture of what they were kind of expecting, which was like, a cute little drawing of like the shark, and which the title was Awesome Shark. But what was interesting was the file they sent me was called Giraffe. And, Tryhard Ninja didn't really, like, explain why, but he was like, oh, yeah, my sister named it for whatever reason. She's the one to make this. I'm like, oh, okay. And I asked her about it, and apparently he misheard her when she said, hey, I made that draft for you, and thought he said giraffe. So now whenever she does thumbnails or, sketches, she sends it as giraffe, which I think is really cute and really funny. So with this one, they definitely wanted the shark. He wanted the shark to look awesome. So, like, okay, that's cool. I don't know who suggested it, but someone said he should have a headband like Rambo. And the original sketches I did with this, which, by the way, guys, sorry that I didn't include the entire drawing process, but when things like this, there's so many, like, going back and forth of stopping the stream, sending it to him, and then, hey, what do you think about this? Oh, change this. There's so much of it that, like, at least the digital painting portion, there's not that much of it, so I could record that. But, like, if there probably would have been an extra, like, couple hours worth of content of me changing the background back and forth or doing the different effects. And so I kind of just stopped recording because it was slowing me down a little bit. So, so they wanted the shotgun. He wanted the piece. The cat was kind of a last-minute suggestion. Just like, oh, yeah. How about a cat with a cupcake? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I sketched out the cat, threw it in there. And he's like, oh, would it be neat if you made it look like my actual cat? I was like, yeah, sure. And so something he complimented was I actually got his the cat's little, like, heart-shaped necklace. That's not a necklace. Cats don't wear necklaces. They wear collars. Collars is the word I'm looking for. The little collar tag is a heart, and he was really impressed with that little detail, which is pretty cool. But yeah, something that's interesting was this is the first piece on here that I kind of experimented with the mix brush, or I think it's the mix brush. It's in the brush settings. It's you hold down brush, you skip the pencil, you go down to the last one. There's like a mix brush, and what this does, it's kind of like the smudge tool, but it actually blends colors pretty effectively and doesn't slow down the computer. It's a pretty solid thing. The only thing is I don't like how smooth it makes some of the stuff is. It might be great for more realistic drawings, but with cartoons, I don't like a perfect gradient on stuff. I like to go over it with lower opacity. Like some people ask me, how do I shade? It can't be that easy. And for me, it's just I'll shade a dark color and a light color, and then I will lower the opacity 50%, draw between the two, the dark color on top of the light, and then I sample that middle color, and then I draw on top of it again, and I keep going over those with the 50% of each, blend color until it looks smooth. I don't like it to be perfectly smooth because I still want to make it look like it's a painting. Even though it's digital, it shouldn't be perfect. That's the one thing about digital paintings is that or the digital artwork, is that if you make it too perfect or too clean, it starts looking less man-made. It looks like a machine did it, and that's not the look I like personally. I prefer it to, look imperfected. I like making little mistakes here and there because it makes it human, makes it interesting. So the only thing I was worried about this piece was the contrasting styles, because the zombie's very detailed. Him and the shark are kind of in the same vein. Then Igor himself, he's like a couple of notches down detail-wise compared to the other two, like realistic. And then you got this cartoony cat that is nothing like the rest of it. But I think it worked out pretty cool. If you actually look at his banner and the positions I have him in right now, they're a little bit different. And basically what happened was I have a dummy account on YouTube that's just, testing out banners and such so I don't waste or destroy, or every couple of seconds I probably get a view on my channel because just how small I am. I want to say, I guess how big I am technically. There's a good chance that if I change my banner to something else, someone's going to click on it when I don't want them to and then see the banner, and it could be terrible, it could be not fitting, And so I have a dummy account, and I tested it out, and the logo and some of the placement of the characters just wasn't centered, or it didn't look good in mobile. And that's something you have to really think about, is that people will see this banner, and that makes it kind of difficult. I kind of wish I could just make my own separate banners per device. That would be a lot cooler, but how this is set up, it's one picture for all of them, and so you kind of have to work these pieces around to where they work for all mobiles. So, obviously this is a really long landscaped picture, so I knew that the cat's going to get cut off in mobile view. But I need to make sure the logo looks good, and I want Igor in the shot. So I kind of repurposed some of these characters in certain sections to, the shark's head gets cut off in mobile view, but at least Igor is visible. You can tell he's riding on something like a shark, and the logo's there. So that was one of the complications I had to worry about. Some of the last-minute changes you'll see in a little bit is that he wanted the cat's mouth to be lighter, and then he wanted his eyes to be very noticeably blue. Something that's not going to be shown in the actual version here, but will be shown in the preview, is that the shark does have flames coming out of its tail, or I guess its ass. And so it's supposed to be a torpedo shark, which I haven't gotten a chance to animate it yet, but his intro for his videos is going to have him riding on the shark, jumping over the logo, and then the shark butt finally takes off and zooms off screen. It's gonna be pretty cool. A little technique here is that the motion lines, I like to make them white instead of black. Just make them pop out and make it, it's not just the thumbnail. So here we go. Here's some of the last minute changes he added to it, which were pretty easy. For the background, I used a space image, stock, and then I played around with gradients. I was a little bit worried about it. He wanted He wanted rainbow gradients for the background because he really wanted to make this eye-popping. And I was kind of scared about that because I'm not a big fan. I love gradients in certain sections, certain ways. My thumbnails have gradients, but they have to be subtle and they have to be pretty used. Okay, so here we go. So I did use a blood splatter brush for this part. Multiple colors, and then just different. I don't know if it was necessarily blood splatter mist, or if it was just kind of, paintbrush. And then here I am kind of filling in my own paint sections, so it doesn't look, just like a uniform thing. And so, yeah. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry I didn't capture the entire piece from start to finish. But with it being commissions, you don't always get a chance to do so. You know what I mean? But hope you guys enjoy this. The next video is definitely going to be Creepypasta Month. There might be a not Creepypasta video in between that, because I do want to do a Gravity Falls Doctor Who crossover picture, and that's kind of perfect for Halloween, how I have it set up, plus it might be a shirt, so that might be in between things. But, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave comments down below if you want to see me draw. I'm still researching creepypastas, so, yeah. I'll see you guys next week with another Watch Me Draw. Watch Me Draw. Watch Me Draw.